Hey peeps, welcome back to my channel. Viktoriya Cole here. It has been a while since I've kind of done a chit chat video, so I decided to kind of do it on my new background. As you can see, I have new stickers. Actually, my whole wall is kind of full of these little trees, which I think is so cool. I found them at Target, by the way, and it says never stop exploring with little mountains, and then I have some clouds at the top. You can't really see it, but I really wanted to do this chit chat video because I know some of you guys are readers and some of you love to watch videos or chit chat videos when you get ready in the morning. Some of you have messaged me or told me before that that's kind of what you do. And so I really wanted to give other people an opportunity to kind of hear me out in regards to this subject, because I wrote a blog about it recently, and it's my body after the baby. And so I kind of decided to create this chit chat video for my YouTubers, for the people that really like to watch videos instead of read, which reading could be a good thing too, because sometimes I remember to write down certain things that I might not remember to say in the video, which I kind of, plan most of my videos, but sometimes I kind of like it to go sporadic and as I go, because I think whenever I'm sporadic, I don't really go as a robot. It's kind of genuine, coming from my heart. So I'm not gonna go like all the way back, but I was pretty healthy, getting into marriage. We've been married for 3 years. We started exercising. My husband actually lost 100 pounds when we were dating. And I didn't even know he entered like this contest to win $1,000, but he did, and he was living by himself at that time, and he lost 100 pounds, which was phenomenal. And he was like a little skinny man. My husband is actually 6'2", and so he's a pretty tall, and I'd say he's probably a medium to large build, like big boned, which is kind of like my mom's side of the family. My dad's side of the family, they're small to like medium sized frames. Like some of my brothers are like 5'7", 5'8". I do have a few brothers that are a little bit taller, and I do have one brother that kind of resembles more of my mom's side of the family. But anyway, going back to our dating, and then us getting married and getting a routine of making sure that we exercise and eat healthy, we both kind of got to a place where we were in the pretty good place, because we ate healthy, we went to the gym, we exercised together, and then of course I got pregnant when we moved to Atlanta. And I mean, it was planned because we wanted to start a family. And so I got pregnant, and I was still trying to do a lot of activities. I was still cutting grass. Don't worry, it's an electric gas mower. I mean, not gas. It's an electric mower, so there's no gas fumes. There were just some grass fumes, but I'm not allergic to any of that. So I actually enjoy outdoors. I enjoy working in the yard. So that's something that kind of keep me occupied whenever, especially once I hit like second trimester, because that's when I had like that energy. And then the third trimester was a bit harder because I had to push myself to make sure that I get my walk. But everybody that I've ever talked to, they said, I'm so glad I walked, because I felt like it helped me in the end to be strong and to build that resilience. And honestly, some people told me that if they have not been active during their pregnancy, they don't know if they would have been able to do what they would have done in labor and delivery. I feel like because exercise is also mental, and it requires a lot of mental discipline. And so whenever you exercise and kind of push yourself, then you kind of build some kind of resilience. And I'm not saying for people that, are in a healthy weight range and do eat healthy and might not get to exercise, if you're pretty active during the day, like you do walk at work a lot, some people might not have to exercise as much as others, because some people may work at the office and they sit all day. And then there's some people that, are pretty active on their job, and that's what their job requires, is to walk a lot. I mean, I have a friend that works at the airport, and she has to walk a lot. I mean, that's her job. So of course she really doesn't have to come home and work out unless she wants to, work on a specific area like arms or legs or core or something like that. Nevertheless, I feel like that definitely helped me in the end. I did have a natural birth, and I really thought that I would snap back into shape pretty quickly, but it was not the case for me. I mean, I'm still, you know, pretty early in the stage. Mila's going to be 6 months next week, which is still pretty good, and I feel like my body's getting to a place where it's kind of stabilizing as far as hormones, as far as me feeling myself. I think for the first few months I definitely was kind of a little bit depressed, so to speak, because my routine changed so quickly and it was so drastic. You know, especially if you decide to breastfeed, you're basically, that's the only thing that you can do is take care of your baby, and then breastfeed, or bottle feed like I do. I have to pump, so I have to work ahead of my baby, which can be a little bit harder than actual breastfeeding. So it's a bit of a challenge because that's all you do for a good 2 months, I'd say. So it's kudos to all moms who do it. It's a very challenging thing. I've never thought that, you know, breastfeeding can be so challenging, but it definitely is. But it is wonderful. You know, your baby does get the nutrients it needs. It gets the antigens, and the antibodies that it needs to fight off any kind of sicknesses or diseases that are around. It's a new baby, getting exposed to a lot of things in this world. So, you know, I definitely don't regret that, but I feel like I thought that my body would snap into shape pretty quickly because I was so active. However, like 2 weeks after I gave birth, you know, I tried to get out of the house, kind of, you know, make sure that I was giving myself some time out in the sun so that I'm not depressed, because I kind of kept the house lights a little bit low because, you know, it's a baby. The lights is a little harsh on their eyes, so I kind of wanted a peaceful, serene place. But I did want to make sure that she got some sun as well. She was born in November, so it was still a little bit chilly to walk around, especially with a little infant. But like a few weeks afterwards, I kind of tried to get out and do a few things. So that kind of helped, but once I started walking, I kind of came down with fever and body aches, and I kind of figured that my body wasn't ready to get back into walking, even though it was not like a really fast walk. And I was kind of disappointed because I was like, I'm ready to run, you know, I'm ready to do stuff, but it kind of forced me to, you know, hold tight and just concentrate on my baby and feed. And so it was kind of frustrating. And then hearing from other people things like, are you wearing this? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Are you doing that? You know, and it's a little bit frustrating because they don't understand your situation, and they might not have even experienced childbirth at all. They've never been parents. So it's easy for some people to say certain things when they have not experienced what you have experienced. But you know, sometimes you have to brush it off. People will have their own opinions, and you know, and you might be a little bit more sensitive at that time because your hormone balance is a bit everywhere. You know, you might be emotional, you might cry several times, and that's completely normal. But I definitely did not feel like I had myself back, and that was very frustrating because I didn't really know what to do next. Like, it's almost like I lost my purpose, even though my purpose was like right in front of me. Like, I had to take care of the baby, I had to be a mom. And it's strange to say that, but you do, you kind of get in this rut, in this hole, and you kind of feel like you can't get out. And you know, your husband's very encouraging, and some of the people that you know are very encouraging and all that stuff, but it can be a very challenging time. And you know, I really thought personally for myself that I won't have any stretch marks, and you know, I was very religious about applying almond lotion and blah blah blah. You know, I was even posting about it. And week 39 came, and I just like cracked like the desert. My belly hurt, my skin of my belly hurt because it was like burning, and I was very disappointed because I really was like, I was so religious about it, you know. I just made sure that I was taking care of myself for such a long time, and then boom. But you know, I was creating a human being. It is a pretty incredible thing, and I'm grateful for my body for doing what it's supposed to do. But and sometimes I think females, we can be very hard on ourselves because we don't see the same body that we've seen before. and that can be very challenging. And I think the biggest thing is seeing your body do such a drastic turn, even though it took you 9 months to get to a place of, producing this healthy human being, and then labor and delivery, and then you kind of expect to kind of go back to where you were, and then it doesn't do that. And just, it can be very, very frustrating. I can tell you that your body will never be the same after a baby, because your hips might grow, your body shape might even change a little bit. And there's just a lot of factors that come into play, and that's not to say that people don't get into a better shape afterwards than they've been in before, because I've seen people do that, and that's great, but it definitely is kind of like a wear and tear. It's almost like getting a car and using it and then getting into a car accident, even though it's not a good comparison of giving birth to a child as a car accident. But it's almost like that, because it's almost like a traumatic experience for your body. Even though it's a natural process, there are a lot of things or processes that your body has to go through to actually recover. So my wish is just kind of to encourage those women that might have went through that process, or maybe you're in that process right now, just to pat yourself on the back. That season will come to an end, and you will be able to get yourself back on the track, whether it takes you 6 months or a year or a little bit longer. It's not the fast ones that win the race, it's the slow and the steady. So it's a lot of consistent work. It's making sure that you eat healthy. It's making sure that you do get some exercise, even if it's just walking. For the longest time I thought to myself, I am not getting an exercise if I'm just walking. Like, I really have to do cardio. I have to sweat, and I have to completely wear myself out in order to get or be effective. But I'm noticing, even with me walking with Mila in a stroller, I walk a good mile or so with one time, and then in the evening we take another mile or a mile and a half. That it's very, very effective, and it's really working on your body. Of course, I add, some strength training exercises when I do get home. Excuse me, ab workouts, and then some squats and stuff like that, which I am planning to show you guys some exercises in the future, whether it be through my vlog or maybe a separate video, a fitness video, that show you guys some modified exercises that I do that has helped me, because I felt like I had to even change the way I exercise, because my lower back was kind of hurting, so I couldn't really do some of the things that I did in the past. And so I have to kind of modify certain things and maybe do other exercises versus some of the exercises that I've done in the past. So let me know if you guys are interested in seeing that kind of video. Then I'll definitely maybe get Ryan to help me record that kind of video where I show you guys step by step on some of the exercises that I do and some of the reps that really help a woman kind of get back into a shape, or get into a good shape as far as working on the core. I think that's another a big thing for a woman, is working on the core and making sure it's strengthened without damaging it. Anyway, but I really had to work on my core. I couldn't really do ab workouts for probably a good month and a half or 2 months, because I felt so sore on my belly. And if you guys don't know, I don't remember what it's called, but it's when your I'll show you guys, when your abs right here, there's a big separation line, because your belly stretches, your muscles actually stretch, but there is a probability of you not closing that muscle space. I don't know what it's called. I'll have to research it. Maybe I can drop it down below in the description box. So you have to also be careful not to damage that. So you have to make sure that you do certain exercises that help those muscles kind of get back into place. And that's kind of what I felt like when I would touch with my fingers. I felt like a bigger split, and that's how I knew that I really shouldn't, put too much strain on doing crunches and stuff like that. So definitely listen to your body. Make sure that you stay hydrated. Make sure you eat good foods. And if your body's not ready to get into even walking, take a breather, take rest. you know, you're not going to be stuck in that season for a long time. Your baby is going to grow up. Your baby is going to be maturing, and therefore will do different kind of activities. And every season, what I'm noticing with being a mom, it just, there's so much shifts that goes on. It's like your baby, just as soon as you kind of learn one challenge, or you've kind of got everything under you know, down packed, then your child grows into another stage and you have to kind of almost start all over again. So it's definitely a challenge because it requires you to constantly like chase after change, so to speak. But you know, that's kind of what it is to have a child. You know, as adults, you kind of grow into it, and you almost have to force yourself to go through a certain change, because you kind of can be set in your ways. But for a child, they experience different things, and their surroundings shape them. You know, the way you do things, the way you talk, the things that you play in your house. So make sure that you definitely teach your child that you are active and that you will eat healthier foods, so that way they can grow up and see that that's exactly what you're doing as well, and not just forcing them to eat their vegetables and you're not eating your vegetables. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about, kind of my experience in regards to fitness. So yeah, we are on the fitness journey, me and my husband. He actually surprised me with an Apple Watch for this Mother's Day, which was very sweet. It's really cool because it's like a rose gold with gray. I'm not a very tech savvy person, believe it or not. Ryan is, and so sometimes it frustrates him when I can't figure out certain things, but really we got it because he got it for me because we wanted to track our steps, and we actually can share our steps throughout the day. So we are on a healthy journey towards, you know, losing couple of pounds and getting into a place where we can be healthy as a family. So pray for us, and if you are willing to join us in that challenge, hopefully you guys can comment below and let me know what are some of your strategies in regards to losing weight, and some of the things that you guys are doing that are effective as far as being a parent. But as always, create culture and be you. Be sure to like this video, be sure to subscribe, and please let me know what content you want to see in the future. But I love you guys, and thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.